Good morning. Good morning, our people. Welcome to the program. Um, we are absolutely happy to have you here. My sister is on her way. We're having some technical challenges, but it's okay. As usual, we'll take care of it and keep it moving. So, welcome to the program. Please continue to help us to share and like and subscribe and hit the notification button. And by the way, if you are watching our show and you're not sharing with your contacts, you're very wicked. Once again, if you are watching our show, we send it to you, you watch it, you keep it in your phone, you're very wicked. We'll consider you one of the ones that don't want our people to get freedom because we know a lot of you are doing that. You get this show, you watch it, and you keep it on your phone. When you have contact, you know that this is the information that our people will need. You save it on your phone because you think it's all about you. You think you are in competition. You think, oh, why would I promote monarchy? And I keep saying, why would I promote AP? And I keep saying, if you know better, if you can do this better, please come. We will help you. We will push you through. If you are once again watching our show and then after you finish watching it, you don't share, you hide it in your phone, and then when you see nonsense, you share. You are worse than the Fulanese. You are worse than the colonial monsters. We have no words to describe your wickedness. If you are sharing all manner of nonsense on your Facebook account, on your Instagram account, and you watch the number one information that can help our people understand, I don't know what's coming for you. And you go to your church every day and pray to God to bring salvation. My dear, go and tell yourself the truth. Go check yourself. Something is fundamentally wrong with you. Then we'll continue because our God is on our side. The God of our ancestors, they are doing the work. So whether you play the role or not, God will find people that will make it happen. So don't even ever think it's your little push, it's your little share button that will bring the salvation that we are looking for. God is on our side. Anyway, welcome to our program. As usual, please help us to share and like and do all those fancy stuff. And I will do the same while, while my sister introduces herself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name is Sefwi. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you. This morning, again, like I has said, got to share, like, subscribe, and then those on YouTube, hit the notification button so that once we share any video, especially during the weeks where we cut um the videos, little bits, they want the size that the data of our people can carry so that you can share them to them. They need this information like my sister has told us. Those that are stumbling on this video for the first time, you're welcome. Thank you. And then those that always come all the time, you're so welcome. Thank you very much. So my sister is going to play this video. And like we said, we are building consensus to get to where we're going. And more people are beginning to speak out. And we welcome that. Thank you.
When the word restructuring is bruited around, we often hear the challenge, hey, what do you mean by restructuring? Well, I don't even like the word restructuring. I prefer the expressions like reconfiguration, decentralization. Everybody can grasp that. Decentralization. And those who lead us, they recognize the necessity of it. They recognize the importance, almost the inevitability of it, until they get in power. Yes, that's the difference. Until they get in power. Deconstruction, reconfiguration, decentralization, all this is necessary in order to maximize development. We speak about food hunger because it is real, but palliatives are temporary stopgap. policies, they do not reach to the heart of the problem, which is one of decentralized development as massively as possible. I've attended food conferences, workshops really, all over the world, from Makerere to India, even to Paris, to Sochi, at least conferences in which the whole issue, and Munich, the issue of food security has been addressed. And we've found the common, the consensus is that collectivization is an obsolete word, especially when it comes to food production and access to food. So reconstruction, decentralization is not a slogan. And it is time that we stop the pretend decentralization conferences, which have been proved to be mere distractions, especially by those who have a different agenda in mind, such as third term agenda. It does not mean that nothing of value has come out of some of the conferences we've had in the past. No. So the tomes are there. People have worked at proposals in spite of even knowing that they've been brought together for a charade. I can tell you about even my own Oba, one of our Obas there, close to me in Ogun State. It came to me and said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And we've nominated you to go and represent us. I said, where? He's going nowhere. He came back later. I said, you were right. I said, proper wayo. He said, they wasted our time. So they fed us well. They gave us allowances. He said, but it was all a waste of time. It's about time, I think, at this nation, that leaders stop taking this nation for a ride. We must decentralize. Security, has become a bugbear. From all corners of the nation, that is the cry. Decentralize, simply so that government can come closer to the people and productivity can really be manifested as a product of citizens, not simply as a manna from heaven. That is the attitude that obtains at the moment. Yes, I know that the fear is one of collapse, breakup. That's been the excuse being given by several regimes. But suppose the nation is breaking up informally. In other words, as a fact, rather than as theory. Then hadn't you better just address this, come straight on and see exactly what happens? What is wrong with genuine representatives sitting down and saying, this should be the protocols of association. Anything outside of it, anyone who does not want to accept these protocols, abide by these protocols, and manifest these protocols in the act, should take a walk. I have no problem at all with even what is known as a nation, beginning as a vast football field and ending up as a ping pong table. If that is going to restore dignity to citizens, if that is going to guarantee 3 square meals a day, then so be it. One of my favorite expressions, which people say is extreme, is let nations die, that humanity may live.
You can say that again. You can say that again. You can see our father here is, dancing on the stone. He doesn't want to offend some people. He had to search for words to say all the right things because they know the right things. They know that Ninas is the way. They may not mention Ninas, but they know what needs to be done. So we want to commend him for finding the courage to come out and say what he said. And it goes to show that people are agreeing with what we've been saying all along. Some of you be running in the forest, Magana Finland, that this is the fundamental problem. So I will pull up the next video while my sister acts.
Yeah,
acts.
yeah. We're gonna, in the course of the show, we're gonna break down more what Professor Soyinka has said, so that it will enter and sink, because we want it to enter and make sense to you, so that you will find it in your heart to carry this campaign and run, because your life depends on it. The life of your children depends on this. Like he said the nation is already breaking informally. We had some news, also some calamities coming upon the nation, as prophesied by Emma Sack, that white woman that is sent to come and speak to Nigerian Christians about what I would say is the last prophecy, because others have been sent. We heard of the ones they sent in the 1980s from South Africa. They've been sending messages to Nigerian Christians, but they closed their ears. So we'll listen to another man in the church to show you that they are hearing you. They are hearing these messages, but they are refusing to run with it because they benefit from the death and the sorrow of our people. And that's why we tell our people, leave that circle, leave that place. Stop donating money to them, because that's what you do to cancer. If you starve cancer of food supply, the cancer will begin to die by itself. Some cancers, of course, I don't want to be medically incorrect. So blood supply, food supply, if you starve whatever growth, it will have some effect on it and it will start going down. So you are the one growing these cancers that are in our midst, using our pain to prosper. Stop funding them. Stop supplying them what they're using to live their lavish lifestyle. I'll allow my sister to play. Thank you.
God will give Asiwaju the courage to do it, because it will affect even himself. It will affect all the APC powers. It will affect all the MDs of banks. The MDs of banks are the destroyer of this system. The powerful, the high and the mighty. He is stepping on their toes. I pray God give him the grace to do it. The next thing he should do, tell him if you know him, is to restructure this country. Nigeria is a fraud. One particular tribe repressing the whole of us. Did you hear what Central Bank governor wants to do? Just a department, the operation department of Central Bank, to be moved back to Lagos, where you have 99% of the headquarters of bank. The North is agitating. Don't take Abuja back to Lagos. They don't care. If you all become beggars, it's okay for their oligarchic mentality.
Yeah.
I talk like no other pastor talk. I talk like no other pastor talk. Because I have seen into governance, I have seen into the church. And I know where the problem is in this country. Are you hearing me? They may not like what I'm saying, but they cannot dispute the truth. This country cannot go on like this. Okay, I was talking about those who migrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. You know, initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Do we want to go back to that? No, something must happen. I have always believed that something must happen. Do you see the way we pray in this church? Make Nigeria one. We don't pray. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one. We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern himself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy. Why must you generate oil in the Niger Delta and take it to the North? Why must we generate IGR here, or the VATs, and take it to the north that generate nothing? The 10 key northern states have Sharia. Sharia says no to alcohol. Sharia says no to tobacco. But alcohol and tobacco is what give us VAT here. And you take the money from there to spend where you say you don't want, but you like the money. Fraud, unfairness, injustice. Where did we sit down to make Nigeria 36 states? Where did we sit down? Nigeria was negotiated 3 regions: North, West, East. 1963, by plebiscite, Midwest came in. Where did we sit down and say we shall be 36 states plus Abuja, and the biggest one taken to the north? More local governments. Then we came with federal character. You are qualified, but from the tribe you came from, you can't be qualified. Now, you can't pass any law in that National Assembly without Northern approval. They are in larger quantity, deliberately made so. So how do we go from there?
So you're not going anywhere, my brother. That's why you need to join force with Nina.
Have you seen, my dear, that he broke down everything? That means that what the campaign, this Nina's campaign, is easy as ABC. If it's not dishonesty, am I coming through?
Yes.
If it's not dishonesty, anyone that listens to it once, it will make sense to you. There's nothing in this campaign that does not make sense to any sane person that is honest.
Because they have been schooled, they have been educated, they have been informed. That's why you can see them speak eloquently on this matter. But all this time when we are shouting, they were hiding in their houses. Go ahead, my sister. Please continue to help us to share as usual. Facebook is doing what it does best.
Yeah, don't even look at those ones anymore. Work is going on. Our people are getting the message. They're on the ground getting messages. So we're not begging Facebook, They should do whatever they want to do with their fake book. We are moving on. What will happen will happen. The next one, my sister, is a small kit. It just buttresses what we're telling our people. That if you don't sit down and do what you're supposed to do as a human being, as God, a human being that God created in his own image, at least most of you are very religious. So you believe, if you believe that God made you in his own image, why are you so incapacitated? That's what you ask yourself. Why are you not acting like God? Why are you not taking decisions? Why are you not taking charge of your space? Why are you not saying things to make things happen? But you prefer to stay in your room and do ba 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 ba, die by fire, die by fire. Very soon, we'll begin to chase you people. We begin to chase you people, lazy baboons. You are lazy, you don't want to work, you use religion as an excuse. Our people will begin to chase you out of their compound. If you're a landlord, anybody that is not going to work, you don't know the source of his income or her income, he stays inside the room, locks up and is doing blah, 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 blah. Chase them out of your property. They might be criminals. Chase them out of your property. Begin to do the right thing. It's a collective work. We are going to do this together. It's no more okay for people to stay in our properties and all they do from morning till night is make some noise that will not allow people to sleep.
Nonsense.
Any church that is near you making noise, they either put
take your dog and chase them all out.
Yes, they either put soundproof or get out of there, because we need to sleep so that we can articulate what we're hearing and know what to do with our lives. We don't want these distractions anymore. Okay, please go ahead, my sister.
Goodness.
Poverty cannot die by fire or by hard work. Get on here now. Get on here now. Get on here now. Get on here now.
Message well passed. You see what we're saying? Send your children out to go and work. If you don't have work, go and roast corn by the roadside. Yes. Ask your neighbor whether they have house that you can clean for them. Here in US, people live full life by going to people's houses and cleaning it, and they pay for it. They charge you. They charge you. If you want to leave the parlor clean, if you want the entire house, they bill you. If you don't have work yet, we know what we are doing. We eventually bring work for our people. But if you don't have work yet, rather than sit down and start doing use your brain and look for what to do. We all pass through that system. I passed through that your system. I was able to create things for myself. So I'm not telling you what I've not done. Another video is coming up. Please continue to help to share, like, and subscribe, because it's important that we get this information to our people. We want to, those that are saying, what do we do? This is from Nina's. We will break all these things down, just that we want to finish our videos so that we'll not go one by one to break it down for you. So please watch and then continue to share. Thank you.
Yes, in the final analysis, the peoples of Nigeria who are living in the torment of unitary Nigeria will have to step forward to begin to join the task of salvaging themselves, saving themselves from impending doom. There's already bad weather. There's already rain falling and destroying things. But the one that is now the deluge that will come if we fail to arrest the situation is why we're making this short appeal to open your eyes to where that calamity is coming from. We have identified that constitution of Nigeria as the source of all your misery and the collapsing environment in which you live. And so we are pointing you to, we wanted to be able to identify who the enemy is in this complicated battle. The enemy is anybody that subscribes to that constitution, that 1999 constitution. He could be a candidate contesting election. He could be political party. All the political parties in Nigeria subscribe to that constitution. It could be supporters of the candidates. It could be people who go to vote in the election under that constitution. They are the ones, but if you were looking for who, because some are hoodwinked, some are the deceived. The ones who are deceiving the others are the ones who swear to defend and uphold that constitution. They know, because we have engaged them. We have told them these things to say, the people are dying, but they grab that constitution with all their might because of the profit they make from it. They know that you are going to die. They know you are going to get more miserable. They are not explaining to you. They don't want you to know that it is because of the profit they will make for themselves. Governors, every month, 5 billion, 10 billion for them and their families, to which they are not, on which they are not accountable to you for how they spend. In the 48 months, they will be there 4 years, or 8 years if you are unlucky, 84 months. Or is it 48? No, 96 months. And so, those are the people tormenting you. The ones who subscribe to that constitution, the ones who swear to defend and uphold, the ones who go to election, political parties, all of the political parties. Now, what are you to do? What are you to do? Separate yourself. In the days ahead, Ninas will be drawing a line. We'll be making an altar call. All of those who stand with that constitution on one side, all of those who stand with Ninas to take down that constitution right at this time on the other side. That's what you will find in Nigeria in the days ahead, because we can't continue like this. And the torment has come to where those who, who want to save themselves must now stand up and help take down that apartheid constitution that bring all these torments. The ones who swear to defend and uphold that constitution are committing treason against the rest of us. They're committing an offense that could be punished with any kind of punishment the mob can inflict. But they are committing treason because they are hanging on to a document that implants our signature fraudulently, empowering themselves to do what they are doing, whether it is stealing they are doing, or it is the killings they are doing, or it is the other things that they make profit from that they are refusing to do. We must separate ourselves from them. They are the enemies of the people. The other enemies are only the Fulani that come to kill you are able to get to you because that constitution is in place, still in place. So it is your twin brother, it is your nephew, it is your sister that is part of upholding that constitution, going to renewing the life of that constitution that has brought the Fulani that is killing you. If it is hunger that is, if it is poverty that is grinding you, if it is electricity that is destroying your business or lack of faith, whatever it is that is tormenting you, look for those you can reach, those their homes, that are subscribing to that constitution, whether they are doing political party or contesting election or swearing to defend and uphold that constitution, having won. They are the ones, they are the ones that are putting you through that torment. So by this short broadcast, just dress back, inform other people, send this information to everywhere it can get to. If you want to be a part of solving that problem, we are going to make a formal invitation and people are going to come to take the specific steps we are going to be directing in the days ahead, because the time is here to solve the problem that's been, tormenting us for decades. We have built sufficient consensus against that constitution, sufficient consensus against the proprietors of that constitution, those who benefit from that constitution, and condemn the rest of the people to the miseries they live in, so that together we will take down that constitution and arrive at new, constitutional protocols that we shall determine in self-determination, ratifying by referendums. I think we stop here.
Yep. I am so excited in my spirit, overly excited. When you do the work, when you consistently do the work, nothing else can happen except the desired results. That's it.
It's like after you have finished studying and you're going for an exam, you go with one type of stepping.
Yes, you sashay through the hall because you have
the paper. Let me deal with it.
You sashay through the hallways to get the exam done, girl. This is absolutely my dear. It's okay. Let me calm my spirit. I'm just I'm like, okay, we got this. God is on our side. And for the first time, a Black nation is doing what other people will look back at and they will be like marveled as to what group of people are this. Ayijudiokwe, okay? Ofonogu is here. So the truth, every time will remain constant. Nothing will change it. And people are singing our songs. Don't worry about how they said it. We're going to tie it all together for you.
Yep.
And it goes in line with our topic for the day, which our father mentioned, that let nations die, that humanity may live. Of course, that makes perfect sense, right? Is the nation, what is a nation without the human Senate? So to maximize and decentralize development, Nigeria needs a general acceptable fresh protocols of association through a process of deconstruction, reconstruction, and reconfiguration. configuration. This is according to our father on, I think it was this week, right? I think what day was a Monday?
Yes, it was. I didn't take
Monday or
it.
Tuesday.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, at the Punch newspaper's 50th anniversary. So our people, they are listening. They are listening. He used to be part of these things before they went rogue. Before hunger, that hunger he was describing hit him from the other side. He's like, I'm coming, wait for me, I'll be right back, you know. So according to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Rep and the Chairman of the House Committee on Constitution Review, Benjamin Kalon, Nigeria needs a new constitution. So this punk now is planning to write and deliver one by 2024. I guess I have been watching the show. Doom is here.
Doom wants to write constitution and give to Ndiobodo. Anon can campi.
Okay, 1 year Ben is not enough.
No, it's not enough. He will want to go and sell his father's land, and then you collect whatever they're giving to him. Oje child for you now. Sorry, those that don't understand Igbo. Tell your neighbor there are certain things we can't say in English because you will not.
It doesn't sound right. It doesn't deliver the same message.
Oje sigo for you now. Okay, from Ghana, Boben. Oje sigo or Fozia Yona. Ndi obodo get 3 yegu. O my abayeri efimo ne neneze.
On the Harvard and the Yale, Ivy Hagor to come and deceive their people.
Otokrigo.
So, as we were saying, these people think that we are dumb, like it used to be, right? Because we thought, they went to Harvard so they can learn how to do things the right way and give us democracy. We didn't know they went to Harvard. They were bought and sold to come and keep us colonized for the rest of our lives. So the implication of this stance is that the National Assembly has finally agreed with the indigenous peoples of Nigeria that we, the people that is the indigenous of the various ancestral land trapped within this colonial contraception, do not yet have a people-made constitutional arrangement. So they are finally in agreement, except that because they are full of criminals or full of criminality, now they want to come out and wiggle their way back in again to start where they stopped.
Yes, and make it.
Right.
Assessor. They will continue to bring out the truth.
Even in spite of the consensus that is building, these people think that we will fall for that. So as the consensus is building towards a new protocol of association, the next question, therefore, is how do we honestly and truthfully fix our fundamental grievances? How do we stop the nationwide bloodshed and loss of lives so we can begin to build a well-deserved civilization we all have been yearning for? The questions boil down to the matter of what has to be done, by whom, when, and how. So today, as usual, we will continue to guide our people towards peace, everlasting mutual respect, love, and justice for all. We are not relenting. There's a reason why our ancestors set us in a time like this. And they are not playing, They are not playing. So for those of you, you like to go through the back door every time. Begin to reformat your brain because you will no longer suffice. It will no longer suffice. Transparency is the order of the day. Transparency is the order of the day. I'm gonna pull up the PowerPoint, trying to find it. You can add, I don't know where, put them.
Thank you, my sister. Yes, transparency, truth and transparency. I was in a platform where some so-called medical doctors, they want to chew me raw because I'm telling them truth. I say, bro, I'm here sitting down. There's what we call in my place, why not local? It's a small chair that when a woman sits on it, anything you're saying is a Zuanoka. It's like it's
yada.
Is it like this? I do like this. I'm like, my dear, please continue to hit the like button so that we'll dismantle the algorithm and then share to your friends. Kudos, the work is going on. We know people that are working. We appreciate you. We might not call your names now, but eventually your names will be in the annals of this history. So don't think that what you're doing is in vain. No. Keep working. On your ball, Olacho Oloma. Yes. That's reward. Reward is that we'll free our people. And then you see yourself, you'll be at peace. You won't need to cast out demons because demons are all gone. The colonial monsters are the demons.
Man-made
Are
demons.
their agents, yes. You don't be worshiping your God all the days of your life because all the demons have been cast out.
Absolutely. Continue to help us to hit the like button. National Assembly agrees with Ninas. We know that, and that's the thing, this is not the time for anybody to say, oh, I'm hungry, I can't be listening. Even if you're down and out, you begin to be up and up. Because if you are down and out, just go and, dig the grave and go in there and cover yourself. But if you still have any life left in you, you must do the work. You must do the work. Nobody else is going to do it for you. No amount of blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada is going to do it for you. As usual, we live in the estate of Usman Danfodio, and every day we are being reminded. We are being reminded that we cannot go anywhere. If they want to transfer the bank headquarters, they will come for you. Anything that we do, these people will come out because the nation belongs to them. They are born to rule. We've seen them over the course of the years with their license plate, born to rule. Right in your face, right in your ancestral land. They are born to rule. You have been colonized for life. And anyone telling you otherwise is part of the criminality. Like you've always said on this show, we need to see them. You identify, you isolate, you do what? You criminalize them. I don't care if they're your brother, your sister, your mother, your whatever uncle. If they are part of those subscribing to this 1999 Constitution, we must see them. We identify them, we isolate them, and then we criminalize them because they are the ones holding us down while they benefit from our pain. So let's look at our objectives today. Nigeria was meant to be a true federalism or federation, and we can see that it's not. Then our father told us that we should let nation die so the humanity may live. And our third objective is Ninas is guiding our people towards a path of peace. So I will break all those things down for you. And we cannot, of course, end without reminding you guys about the 5-point agenda. This is what we need to move forward. The good news about all of this is that we can end this thing today. Like we don't have to wait till Easter or whatever. We can decide on Monday, Tinubu and co, you're no longer in charge. Everybody out on the streets and we end this thing. They have stolen enough money. Their houses are around my neighborhood. They are ready to move in. They know that a day like that is coming and they have their flights ready to leave. So it may not even be as hard as, it may be a 24-hour thing, 48-hour thing, where if we take our stand, if we understand the protocols, what needs to be done, the Ninas template, and we put it in place, they will run because our brother will tell you they are committing treason against you, not you committing treason against them. They are committing treason against us. And as long as I am on the other room, in the other bedroom, and deceiving ourselves, then we are not ready to get what God has given to us. So Nigeria was meant to be a true federation. We know that with each indigenous micronation, that they're supposed to be growing, thriving, and developing at its own pace. With all the potentials that we have, especially on our own side, we could have made not just Nigeria a great place, we could have made the whole Africa a great place. It was supposed to have mutual respect, love, and justice for everyone, big and small, widows, orphans, everybody, even our animals. The arrangement would have helped us to maximize and decentralize our development and even help our brothers and sisters in other African continents. The government was meant to be close to the people. The government cannot be here, or you go and get Tony Fulani, then he will come to Omahia and be the police what is it called, general manager over there, or detective, when he doesn't know the bushes and Omahia. He has nothing to do with the area, but they will bring him in to come and be in charge so he can get, that's if he finished high school, or to be in charge of you with your university degree education. Our citizens were meant to live with dignity and not reduce them to rats, people that are being flogged when they are standing in line for bread. Please continue to help us to share. Productivity was supposed to be the product of hard work of citizens and not manna from heaven, like Papa Gio and Adeboye and Adebanjo and all the George all over our land pretending to be preaching and calling God on our people. That's not how it works. Productivity was supposed to be a product of hard work of citizens, not something that will come from heaven. And we need to change that around. I remember even before this, in 2005, my father came to visit. I was asking him about some of the things that we eat back home. He said, don't worry, these women in the village, they refuse to do anything. Anytime you call them, they say, I'm going to mission. I'm going to mission. There's a prayer meeting going on. These are the little things these women used to do to sell, to survive. Now they have abandoned it, sewing uniform and going to mission. This was in 2005. You can imagine now that when we are telling our sisters and brothers, you can plant things, even if you live in a condo, you can plant things in a bucket. They're like, how do you plant things in buckets? How do you plant those and keep it in front of your veranda or backyard inside the buckets? We've seen so many of examples in YouTube where you can plant in a bag of rice, and a bag of cement, bag of everything, and just keep it around you so you can have little things that you can use to support your means of income. Nobody knows that because the church told you that God will do it for you. Money will come on your phone. Alert will be ringing on your phone. God will just bring all your wealth and something will be delivered to you from heaven. Nigeria was meant to be a true federation. And we saw that under our brother, Dr. Michael Okpara, the former Eastern region, what should I call it?
Premier.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like governor.
So under him, thank you, my sister. Under him, we became one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We saw it. I remember my parents used to go to trade fair. They would say, oh, there's trade fair here and they're doing this thing. They will go back and come back and, life was good. This man built Niger Cement in Port Harcourt. There was in Calago Cement. There was Golden Guinea Brewery that people, they even ate the equipment. I don't know if they ate the buildings too. There was a Trans Amadi Industrial Complex in Port Harcourt. There was Hotel Presidential in Port Harcourt and Enugu. There was the Obudu Cattle Ranch. I've heard so much about this Obudu Cattle Ranch. There was the cement in Calabar. These are creating jobs and opportunities for people. These are the things that need to be done in order for you to move forward. Instead, they will take your money, all your wealth, and give oil block to Danjuma, give oil block to Ojo Zokano, give oil block to ABC Ojiako. They will take the wealth of the country and hand it to a man so that he can play Father Christmas every Christmas. This man built farm settlements, which transformed the lives of our local farmers. Food production got enhanced. People were living well. Life was good. He laid the foundation. He laid the industrial foundation and transformation for the region.
Nadia, do you know ahead? Like they didn't used to take light. That if they want to take light, they will give announcement like 3 days ahead that they will need to do some maintenance. What you see abroad, what you see in other nations, we had it, but we had to lose it because some people's head they spark.
Yeah. So they can take all the resources and hand it to Ojo Zokano. And then he will tell us, oh, I'm cooking for 300 people in my house. What makes it okay for you to be cooking for 300 people in your house? Are you God? Are you God? You swallow the wealth of the people, and now you can come out and be bragging how you're cooking for 300 people. Then when the young ones will make noise, you guys will start doing these transformational courses. A young youth transformational alliance.
Yeah, they will buy wheelbarrow for them and buy broom for them. Say, okay, we're empowering the youths. Graduates.
You have been punked, people. You have been punked by your brothers and sisters. And thank God we are about to start identifying them, isolating them, and criminalizing them because they are part of this criminality. They are part of the colonial monsters that have held us down for life and left us in a situation where we cannot move forward. Our lives were much better 100 years ago than it was today with the so-called westernization project. On one hand, instead, what they do is to still, they will come and invest 1,000 and take out 20 million. The purpose of investing 1,000 is that you can allow them into the space so that it will look like they're investing anything, but they are there to
pack your sand, even sand. They pack even sand. They dig sand and pack sand. That's how serious it is.
So serious that plane flies in the mud.
Yes.
In Africa. Yes. Africa is the only place plane will fly in mud because they've taken all the resources and they're flying
through bushes.
Through bushes. Because if they start building wrong way now, people will know something is going on. So they've learned to build plane that will fly in poto. And
it will not crash.
Oh, of course, it will not crash. It will only crash if you're a bank manager.
Yes.
Yes. If you're a bank manager and you have given $1 billion to your church, and it's time to pay up, it will crash. Okay.
Yes, and when you decide to be eating with the devil with long spoon, we've told you don't eat with the devil at all, let alone using long spoon. Are you using long spoon? You and the devil, are you eating the same type of meal? The devil's meal is flesh and blood. What is your business with eating with the devil? Whether you're using long spoon or short spoon, it will pull you in. We warned our people, and we're still warning you. All you people that call yourself elites, stop eating with the devil. You women, you don't hear. You're there feeling that you are cool. Your husband is the new billionaire in town. When it will happen, don't say we did not warn you. It is not time anymore to be ignorant to women of the land. Wake up. Wake up.
Do they have a choice, my sister? They don't have a choice. It's either you wake up or your children's future is gone.
We're talking about... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That Nigeria was meant to be a true federation. My sister has done a good job. How the plan was to build this giant that never took off. The giant died. It was stillbirth. Nigeria was a stillbirth. All the plan our fathers had, when they finished, they delivered the child. Alas, the child was dead. What happened? The greed and naivety of one man called Gowon. He misled the people. All these potentially great micronations had to abandon their God-given assets and resources into the hands of criminals in their space and began to chase after the ancestral land and the assets of Ndi Igbo in Southeast. In that South region. So the entire other regions abandoned everything. Not just that they abandoned them in the hands of criminals that made gold mining, all the mining, their own private business, their MES, their whatever, it became their own private business. Why everybody ran to Southeast to go and steal their ancestral lands and their resources. One man made that happen. Go on. For those that are praising him, saying that, oh, thank you for giving us crumbs, is because you are either daft or you're so dishonest that you don't know that your eye is before your nose. You thought your nose is on top of your forehead. We will not stop calling Gowon. He's still alive. Those that know where he is, tell him, oh, he should come and undo what he did because the ancestors will not allow him in. He will become a Kaluguri if he passes from this place. He had better begin to confess and begin to work to fix this mess. Now everyone is hungry. People are wailing. Some are even burning Nigerian flags in the north. We want to look at what wailing wailers, some of the wailing wailers. Sheikh Musa Gabam.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was lamenting. Ew, talk up, talk down. I asked me, I say, ask your fathers. You have fathers, you're a young man. Ask your fathers what happened between 1967-70. The men have told you the truth. That man-made disaster you are referring to, it is retribution of the sins of your fathers. So you better go back and go and seek truth. The chicken has come home to roost. They've lied to you, and you continue to live in lies, and then now the consequences are in front of you. Everybody is welling. Welling will not help you. Coming is bigger than everyone. This man, as ignorant as he is, or he has been made to be so ignorant, that he opened his mouth that he's using to eat beans, to say that Niger and Nigeria are the same, that they have the same culture.
Why is the same now? Remember, he was there when Buhari was Buhari everything to Niger. Everything was sent to Niger. So it's easy for anybody to get confused.
He hold the effrontery to say they are the same, they have the same culture, everything is the same with his mouth. Meanwhile, he was referring to Northeast and Northwest, which they've carved and conquered, made to look like Niger. This ignorer, whatever, I don't know what to call him, refused to acknowledge and recognize all the indigenous peoples in the southern and middle belt parts, who are completely and totally different from whatever they're doing up there with that their Sharia and their feudalism. Our culture is different. Our way of life is different. Our worldview is different.
Unbelievable.
Nothing is like day and night. This one Pama had the effrontery to say that Niger and Nigeria are the same because they have conquered. Wailing wailers. Tell him to go and get handkerchief. Buhari used handkerchief to cry. He will use a towel.
Towel.
Beach towel. Will land on them. That will land on them. He will bring towel to wipe his eyes. The tears that he will shed is unbelievable. Nigeria was meant to be a true federation, but these people
hijacked it.
Destroyed that dream. Continue to help us to share. Continue to help us to like. Hit the like button so that it will go more and more people will get it. So we want to look at the quotation, and then the quotation by our father, Professor Wole Soyinka, and break down some things that we need to give us. He said, "Let nations die, that humanity may live. Let nations die, that humanity may live." This is an honest statement. The hatred and bile against Ndigbo made Nigerian alliance of 1967, the evil alliance of 1967, to create a monster that is now eating up her children. I will repeat it, because we will continue to hammer on the truth until it enters your ear. Yes, I said it. I made this comment in one of the platforms where you have some doctors. They nearly brought down the roof. They said, this is inappropriate statement. I say, yes, there's a place you will get so dysfunctional that truth becomes inappropriate to you.
Of course.
That is what people have become. And there are Christians and pastors, so not just medical doctors. I will repeat, the hatred and bile against Ndigbo made the Nigerian alliance of 1967. Go and find out those that formed that alliance. The alliance that murdered over 2 million innocent children. The alliance that destroyed 3.5 million civilians. Go and find out the people. Ask your fathers, ask your mothers, ask your uncles, ask your aunts. The alliance of 1967, the evil alliance of 1967. In the midst of chasing Ndigbo, they created a monster called One Nigeria that is now eating up their children. Out of naivety, they rejected the proposition to confederate, the Aburi Accord. Yes, the famous Aburi Accord that you hear about. It was supposed to make everyone comfortable. But no, you ignorantly rejected it. Instead, you chose to commit genocide. And why that genocide was going on, why that Biafra genocide was going on, Everybody was living their life.
Going to school, oh.
Going to school.
Blue-
They didn't even know what was going on. Like they stayed away from what was going on in Southeast, and people were being slaughtered.
Yeah.
And you are praying to God, and you think that God will watch that and not ask for people to account for that blood. These people refuse to honor their own commitment to the world to rebuild and rehabilitate an Igbo, that Igbo land that they destroyed. They made commitment, what we call the 3 R's, to rehabilitate that region. They refuse a commitment they made to the world. That's why when they come with what do they call it? Southeast Development, whatever. I said, look at these people. After 55 years, you want to come and do what? Your opportunity to start siphoning more money. Instead, what did they do? They shut down and abandoned the entire region for 55 years.
Yep.
They closed the Oji River power plant, shut down Nnewi, Aba, Onitsha. These were booming places. They
Can you
shut
imagine?
down everything, brought down electricity, everything went under the false pretense of preserving the environment. They were the first to sign for whatever climate weather change. Hey, let's close it down. Coal is bringing whatever.
And then when it didn't work, they unleashed criminality in Aba.
Yes.
Just everybody.
Yes. Sent everybody away from the land just to make sure they shut down the land so that they continue to steal the resources that belong to the people. And nobody will come and say, this is my land. They chase everybody away. They took to steal everything. Close down everything. Close down all the booming centers. Now it has gone round. Shut down the coal production at Enugu. Close down Obudu Cattle Ranch. Now they want to bring Fulani cattle for us. When our own natural cows, we had ranch, but you close down everything so that you can give our land to your brother, your colonial masters, because they want to rear cattle. And they think it's going to happen.
Ndori.
Shut down Warri and Port Harcourt refineries. Now they brought the Fulani Dangote to come and build refinery for us. As if we don't know how to build refinery. As if we are beggars. Made Port Harcourt and other international airports in the east moribund. These are people that travel. Igbo people travel a lot. They know the world knows us. We are everywhere in the world. We travel a lot. If there's anybody that we need international airports, it is in that land. But they shut everything down. And all the neighboring places, just to make sure that we are locked in. Buhari said we are creating dot nation to lock us in, trap us in, and make sure we don't come out. And we say, when you're holding someone else, you're struggling with somebody and beating the person up, holding the person down. You're also holding yourself because you will not do any other thing. You just be there. As you're holding that person, you're holding yourself. That's what happened to Nigeria. These people destroyed LMA petrochemical industry. Akwa Ibom aluminum smelter factory, gone. No functional seaports in the entire BRAC. The BRAC is Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Cross River. Of course, the states that they created just because they wanted to steal Igbo people. Carve it to Igbo people into mid-bed, into state. Just break down so that Igbo people will be small. That's what they always do. If they feel that your region, you're making too much noise, they will come balkanize you, take all your people to some place, make you political minority so that you will never have a voice and you will never be able to say anything. We are giving credit to our brother Ben Ahanonu. He was the one that wrote most of these details, March 4th, 2024. And then some of our people that sent the document to us, we thank you as well. They made no functional seaports, as we are saying, in the entire BRAC. These are people that are living inside water. Destroy their aquatic life. It's like Florida that we are coming here. going to Florida for this vacation, that vacation. These people live in what you could create something bigger than Florida in that place. But no, shut everything down. Unnemegide ndị Igbo. So that you undo Igbo people. These people took the oil wells of Cross River State and they're now giving them. Because as I said, the oil of Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. So when they take the oil well, they will give you little and you'll be praising them. When you want to make governor, your governor will go to their place and tie scarf and then come back and start doing Imakwandaibu. People like Wike.
And they will give some to Asare, he will bring in that Wobi.
Yes, yes. And everybody's yes, as you're eating the akara with your school fees will not be paid. You're doing yourself. These people created a monster and stole and seized the properties, companies, and wealth of Ndi Igbo in the name of abandoned property, indigenization policy. We heard allegedly that Nyesom Wike's father still has some property of Ndi Igbo that they seized. And somebody thinks that the God of justice, there's something they do, they say, fear God, do. Fear God. You think that you will do all this and God of justice will allow you to prosper. These people built a Nigeria of master and servants. Of course, initially it was sweet and looked attractive because it's only one ethnic nation that was captured and enslaved by the rest. It's only the children from one ethnic nation that were being eaten up. Everybody was gallivanting. All is well. Ndi Igbo, we are crying marginalization, marginalization. Death, death. They started running everywhere. Run to Lagos. Run to Abuja. Run to anywhere. Run everywhere but their land. When Lagos became too full, they started running to other parts of the world. That's why anywhere you go, you must see an Igbo person. What is chasing us? They took over our land, made it uninhabitable. We had no choice but to disperse because they want to take the land. Other people were watching this happen. Everybody kept quiet because it wasn't happening to them. But you know what? Evil is always bound to spread. So in no time, that monster began to eat other people's children. Because a monster is a monster. All he eats is flesh and blood. So if you grow a monster, after eating the one that you gave the monster will get hungry again and then begin to eat other people's children. Everybody shouting, Ewo, Ewo, Ewo. Now they have to say, has Nigeria happened to you? When Nigeria happened to you, you go get sense. So that's so. If Nigeria never happened to you, you no go understand Nina's message. Hey, when Nigeria happens to you, you go understand Nina's message by force.
Fast.
Yes, and it's coming. Nigeria is coming to happen to people. Not that we are rejoicing, unfortunately. But what can we do? Since the people are deaf and dumb, something has to happen to open the ears. Because that word Nigeria, this your present one Nigeria, this monster that was created because he wanted to eat up one region, because it was built on the foundation, it was not built on the foundation of love, it was not built on the foundation of justice, but on the foundation of blood and sweat of innocent people. It will never prosper. It didn't ever prosper.
No amount of ba will fix it.
Because God does not bless mess. God does not bless evil. God does not bless wickedness. God does not bless iniquity. He is God. He's a righteous God. He is the God of justice. He does not bless mess. Nigerians, hear me. God does not bless mess. Nope. There's no longer of your baba that will make God to bless Nigeria. He will not do that because he does not bless mess. He did not create Nigeria.
Nope.
The one Nigeria you have today was not created by God, and he will never bless. No matter how dishonest you are, he will never bless it. That is why all your prayers and fasting seem to fall on deaf ears. God is not hearing. What's that song that boy say? I'm unavailable. God is unavailable. Your iniquity is keeping God far from you, Nigerians. God is far, very far. That's why when people leave Nigeria, they begin to prosper. If you see them on social media, they will be, even old women start become like Sisi, because your land is the land that eats the inhabitants. God is far from Nigeria. Yes, he's far from you. What you're creating is iniquity. The more you pray and build religious institutions, the more evil will spread in the land. They say, there's no place where you don't have evil. We're talking about evil taking over the land. Evil has taken over. The things we hear from your land, is you can only hear it in a land that God abandoned. The monster you greedily created will consume Nigeria, consume Nigerians completely, 100%, except like the people of Nineveh. You make a sharp U-turn and begin to repent from the sins of your fathers. Restitution. You have stolen properties. You have killed, maimed. It's time to restitute. Give back what you have stolen. You must give back. Otherwise, what will happen? We don't know. And it's already happening. Let nations die that humanity may live. The humanity in Nigeria needs to live. This thing that you created, this carcass, this monster, this thing that you created needs to go, that the people might live. Join us in the campaign. Join us in the campaign. Join Ninas, join Daughters of Truth in the campaign. We are not saying we want you to go by yourself, because there's a process, there's a pathway, there's a road to where you're yearning to be. So we go to Ninas is guiding our peoples towards a path of peace. A path of peace. Ninas is already in front, because Ninas has done the work. Ninas will tell you the meaning. Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. People have formed alliance before, Evil Alliance, like 1967 Evil Alliance, that created a monster that is killing the people. So we formed another alliance of the people. Honest people, truthful people, God-fearing people, righteous people, to create a bigger monster coming to swallow this monster. You see, we are getting our idea from the Bible, your Bible. When the children of Israel were in Egypt, enslaved, when Moses got there, what happened? His rod became a monster. The enemy also threw their own rod, monster. But the monster of Moses swallowed the monster of the Egyptians. That is how God prevails. God does not walk by ba. No, you're just wasting your time. The essence of prayer, because we're not saying that you don't pray. The essence of prayer is you talk to God and he talks back to you, gives you solution to your problem, and then you go and execute it. You see, you form partnership with God, not just making lazy sound. So Ninas is guiding our people, the various indigenous peoples, towards a path of peace, because there's no peace right now. But Ninas is here. We are not the troublemakers, so we come in peace, and we are coming to bring peace. The peace that passes all understanding. That peace that Christ promised you. Yes, because some of you don't know that human beings are supposed to be in partnership with God to do the word of God, to fulfill the word of God. You think God is going to drop from heaven and come and fulfill his word? No, he will fulfill his word through you. That's why he said, I'm watching to fulfill my word through you. He will fulfill the word, but through you. You listen to us and watching us. You are the one that do the work. God will walk through you. God will enter into man and walk through the man, through humans, to get the job done. So according to the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka at Punch newspaper 50th anniversary, like my sister said earlier on, and we showed you in the video. Nigeria needs a generally acceptable, fresh protocol of association. You know all these professors, when they drop the word, you know, say, yes, sir, that thing that you said, that's it. It says protocol of association.
Please continue to help us to hit.
Finished. Protocol of association. Okay, professor. That's what we want to do. Through a process of deconstruction, reconstruction, and reconfiguration. He broke it down because he's a professor now. He knows how to teach. So we are just copying to explain to you what he said. Deconstruction is like you have built an evil monster, like we said. We said that what you built is a monster eating your children up. You will not build on top of it if you want to be free. So you have to dismantle that monster. You have to deconstruct it. You know what you say earlier? Is equal to a lawyer. Yes, if you know how you built it, you have to unbuild it. So Nigerians, you need to unbuild the monster that you have built. That is what we mean by deconstruction. That's the big word of deconstruction, dismantling. If you know how you built a monster, it's time to remove it. You built a monster on our ancestral lands. Yes, you people built a monster on our ancestral lands. Come and deconstruct it. It's only when you have done that, then we begin to reconstruct. We now say, what do we want to build? Is it low, ground floor, big one, mansion? How many story building do we want? We will now decide by ourselves through referendum and then begin to refigure it. It's not the one, no, that one Ekberima, that one criminal calls himself Benji Siopo. I don't know, Deputy Speaker of Representative of Ndara. He said he will give people in 24 months. Imagine the audacity. There are things that I hear. I'm like, who is next to one name them otu? Marumia one ora ubola idowai. Because we have anya in our chariot, our eyes don't read. We don't enter where if you speak anyhow, if you do anyhow, you see anyhow. So warn your brothers, so warn your sisters, so warn these people that don't want to hear word. If you speak anyhow, you go see anyhow, because our eyes don't the red. Our children are dying. Like Professor Soyinka said, the politicians all know the truth. They know the truth. But they chose to commit treason against the indigenous peoples of Nigeria, Nigerians. They are the ones. What they are doing is treason. Because we said that they created a monster on our land, stealing our resources, destroying our people. We said, stop. You don't want to stop. You want to continue to uphold it. Lying to yourself. They want to continue to build on lies as the people perish. They know we did not make the 1999 Constitution. They know it. They know we no longer have a federal system that we wanted to build. They know we have departed from the secular states we set out to build. They know that what we have now is feudalism. That is that all men are not equal. And Sharia system, where there's no sanctity of life. Either they burn, they kill, they massacre, whatever they want to do. It doesn't mean anything to them. They know all this truth, but they want to continue to build on lies. You will stop them because they are your brothers and sisters. You see the one I called Benji? Is that not Igbo name? They will always use an Igbo person. But it's time for you, Ndi Igbo, to begin to say enough. Where are Igbo youths? Kedi youths of Igbo land, where are you? It's time to begin to tell these people it's no longer business as usual. You're not going to do it anymore. So the question boils down to the matter of what has to be done, by who, when, and how. And Ninas has prepared, did research, did all the work, put everything together. Say this is a template. These criminals will want to take you away from Nina's template. That's what they want to do. They will want to do something else. But we are telling you, don't allow them to do it. Because freedom belongs to you. Sovereignty is yours. So according to Ninas, we the people means the indigents of the various ancestral lands whose sovereignties have been hijacked. And by sovereignty, we mean their people and their ancestral lands have been stolen and taken away and being mismanaged.
Mm-hmm.
We must all accept that we have a fundamental problem and that we must go and solve it ourselves. White man is not coming to solve it for us. Nobody, we will solve it ourselves. We do not have a union yet. We must decide whether we want to practice democracy, be a secular nation, or do we want to live by Sharia and feudalism. We must decide which one we want. It cannot be both of them. You can't eat your cake and have it. It can't be morning and night. It has to be one. Do you want light or you want darkness? You must decide. So we need a fresh protocol of association that will help us determine how we can coexist peacefully. This fresh protocol of association will help us to fix our long-standing fundamental grievances. It will help us to stop the nationwide bloodshed and endless loss of lives. The type of life they lose in Nigeria, they don't even lose it when they're fighting active war.
War, I know.
This fresh protocol will enable us put a process in place through which genuine leadership will emerge. We don't have that process now. We don't. So Ninas is guiding our peoples towards a path of peace. We want to break the Ninas strategy for self-determination in percentage to you so that you understand. 5% is for intra-regional alliance. That has already happened. That means each region went and then came together. And then we had solemn assemblies and we told you all that. That has happened. That was just 5%. Inter-regional alliance, when we now had to start discussing with other members of other regions, we are already doing that now. It's ongoing. We are working together. That is another 5%. International imperative, where we had to go outside Nigeria to go and speak to stakeholders, those that came to our land, build some resources. We know that if we start doing anything or if Nigeria collapses, they will be the one to lose. So they will be confused. They won't know what is going on. So we don't want what happened during the Biafra Nigeria on civil war to happen again. So teams were sent, US Congress, UN, all the stakeholders outside to tell them, this is what is going on, and this is what we need to do. That was 5%. It's already done. We are done with it. And then there's what we call constitutional force majeure. It was a build-up to saying no to the 1999 Constitution so that everybody will reject it. And that has happened. We gave that 75%. That's the biggest part of the work. And it's still ongoing in the sense that after the constitutional force majeure of 16th December 2020, we now enter into the implementation and enforcement phase of constitutional force majeure. So one thing is to do all the assignment that you need to do before you get to that constitutional force majeure. Do it. When you do it, you now begin to enforce it and implement it, and it's step by step. The implementation and enforcement is step by step. That's why it has the whole 75%, because you will be part of that implementation. Because self-determination is the people's right. So somebody else will not do it for you. You'll be part of it. The rest we are done on your behalf because you don't really need mass to do it. Taking me to the next section, which is mass mobilization, is also 5%, where you now take this news, this packaging, this proposition, and spread it. Onyenu okaribeya. That's what we say in Igbo land. If you hear, tell your neighbor. If you hear, tell your brother, tell your sister, in the church, in the market, in your organization, alumni, everywhere, hospital, everywhere, anywhere, tell them, Ninas is right, Ninas is right. Ask your pastors, have you looked into Nina's proposition? If you have not, I'll bring one for you. Kudos to one of our, in Edo State, we heard that one governorship aspirant, I think it was one of our brothers here, Isi Momodu. he did a good job in his own village, because we told you people, go to your neighborhood, go to your village and tell them. Those people that used to buy drinks for, as you're buying drink for them, share this message with them. It is your job. He did the work so much that his own people sent a governorship aspirant back to Abuja. He came so that they will support him and he will go and do primaries. As he came, I was telling them, they brought Nina's flyer for him. He said, nah, have you seen this thing that is 1999 constitution that is holding us? Not you bringing leadership. What have you to say this? I thought you are, and a man is even a professor of law. They say you're a professor of law, so you read, so you know. What are they saying and what role do you have to play? He said, I'll leave that one. When I enter, I will do it. He said, no. We don't want where you enter, you will do it. We have heard that enough. We want it to be done now. The man packed his load and went back because they refused to vote for him. They said, we are not voting for you. We want this 1999 constitution to go down so that we will be free. That is part of mass mobilization that we're saying. You have to do the job. In your church, every day we'll come and tell you what your pastors and priests and bishops and everything are doing with your destiny. You sit down, you're eating popcorn and eating roasted corn and ube. No. The destiny of your children is at stake. The lives of your children is at stake. You have to go and do the job. That's 5% mass mobilization. So as you build this consensus, because that's part of when you hear us say we are building consensus, because it's everybody that has to be part of it. It's not Ndi Igbo doing it for Ndi Yoruba, or Ndi Yoruba doing it for Ijaw people. No, everybody must be on their ancestral land working. So you mobilize your own people, because if you don't mobilize them, by the time we are free, your own people will still remain under the hands of the evil people that came to colonize them. So the last is transitional government, because those are worried. When you bring the constitution down, there will be a vacuum. There's no vacuum. It was done in South Africa. It's been done like other 5 nations since we started this process. So it's transition and it's only 5%. Transitional government is not that the government will continue as usual. They will have limited mandates. They will have limited timeline frame. They will have what they're supposed to do. So they will be told what to do. If it's 6 months, in 1 month, they will be told what to do, and they will be doing it just for them to be paying salaries, and so that there won't be collapse while this other one goes on, and then we get a fresh protocol, and then we move to the next level. Ninas is guiding our people towards a path of peace. And this is why we told those that were making noise for the longest time. We know some of you did not go to school, so you were duped. I'm referring now to my brothers in IPOB, Biafran people, Obiwanne, all of you. You keep sucking this thing because you worked so hard in IPOB and you feel, how can I finish working in this thing and it will just go like that? I've worked so hard. It's time for me to get. It's because you don't understand what you are working for. What we are doing is part of this mobilization. It's not going to be different, because what you worked for, trying to sensitize our people, there's no structure, there's no strategy, there's nothing that will lead people to the next level. And we are there with you. That's why we know that there's nothing there. All that you're doing is within this 5%. And that's why we say, if you come early, now that we are calling, I went to Obiwanne's show, I told you that you're putting mirinse in the fresh water we are bringing for our people. And I'm repeating it. Anybody that is online, you're saying any other thing apart from Nina's 1999 constitution, you are just being a criminal, because it shows that what you're doing, that if you continue to call the name of your criminal like Belima that duped our people, then people will be sharing your video and money will be coming into your account while our people die. But if we can come together and finish up this thing, everybody will be fine. So we are saying it's still early, because we will not forget. We are mothers, we won't forget that we told you. When that time comes, I get a dog in empty, we'll pull your ear like this for you to know that we told you what to do. Ninas is guiding our people. You have to be part of it. So the 1999 constitution was imposed on us. We did not make it. Nigerians never made it. We never agreed on it. It was imposed and it's forgery. So that's criminality. We need to end it, not amend it. We give those that are designing all this to credit. We didn't design it. Daughter of Truth did not design it. Most of this thing we use, we bring it from Nina's secretariat and we use them because it's part of the campaign. you too can take them and move along and use them. That's why they're being created, so that people can use them and share them, print them into flyers, do what you want to do with it, and share to your people. So we need to end the 1999 Constitution, not amend it. You don't amend fraud. If you have a fraudulent passport or fraudulent check, you throw it away, you don't amend it. So we need to take it down, end it. So we need to understand that those swearing to uphold this instrument of backwardness are our enemy. That your enemy is living in your midst. That the ones that are still swearing to uphold the 1999 Constitution, or the one that is telling you that he's going to do it on your behalf, they are your enemies. So those who are supporting or promoting those that are swearing to uphold the 1999 Constitution are part of the enemies. Your church leaders, your social influencers, all of them are your enemies. They're not your friends. Therefore, we need to begin to identify them, criminalize them, and isolate them. ICI. You need to identify them based on what we're telling you now, that they're upholding the 1999 Constitution, that swearing to make sure that it doesn't go. Like Peter Obi went to Caliphate and told them that he will make sure that nothing happens to 1999 Constitution, that it stays. We told you that they created a monster eating up our people. You say you are swearing to them that you must make sure. So these are your enemies, they're not your friends. We need to begin to identify them. We have given you. How do you identify them? Anyone saying that 1999 Constitution is what they want to swear, be it your governor, be it whatever, they are your enemy. Identify them. Criminalize them. They are criminals because the 1999 Constitution is a fraud. So upholding it is crime, is criminality, is treason against the people, because the people did not make it. So it is a crime. So they are criminals. And then when you get criminals, you arrest them, isolate them, and put them. In Igbo culture, when we isolate, when we identify and bring out criminals, we isolate them. We don't interact with them. We give them matches in my culture, because in those days, we take light from one another. So we give them matches so that they will go away from our community and go and live their life somewhere, because they are criminals. They will never be part of what we are doing. They will not help the community to grow. So that's why we isolate them. And that's the thing we are telling you to do. We are not saying go and do something and commit crime. No. That's not what we're saying. You don't use crime to deal with crime. We say isolate them. Don't have anything to do with them anymore. Stop praising them. Stop recognizing them. Move them away from what you're doing. When you do this, you are part of these three things: enlightenment, mobilization, enforcement, because that's where we are. Enlightenment, telling people the story and explaining it the way we are explaining. Mobilizing people, as people are saying, yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. They join the camp. They join the camp of Nina. So we begin to bring camps of Nina. Then when we are now, as we are building the consensus, we are strong enough intellectually, physically, and otherwise, then we enforce it. We don't need anybody to enforce it for us. We, the people, we enforce it because it's the people's right. Self-determination is the people's right. Thank you very much. I'll allow my sister to finish on.
Thank you. All right. So so here's Nina's proposition. There's no need for me to read them all out. We sort of explained some of those things today throughout the show. By now, we should be getting it. The whole purpose of sharing this Nina's proposition is for you to get it, for it to sink in. So hopefully we are getting there, as our House of Assembly is now agreeing that Nina's is right, that the Constitution is a fraud. Our church leaders or leader, well, at least I saw one, that is saying that, the Constitution is a fraud, Nigeria is a fraud. So we need you to begin to say the same thing, that Nigeria is a fraud. And there's no way a fraud, you can benefit from a fraud, or very soon you will get arrested. And we also reminded you that God will bless no mess. So Nigeria is a mess, and no amount of yari, and blah, 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 blah will bless Nigeria. For us to move forward, we must embrace the Nina's template. The work has been done. The Christmas present is at your door. All you have to do is to open the door and embrace it so we can move. All right, so our announcements as usual. Spotlight on the wisdom of our ancestors. That's still loading. It's coming. Our sister is doing a great job. They are ever showing up once a day to teach our people one thing or the other. You can also sign up for the Nina's newsletter. Our sister Ndidi does a marvelous job in breaking things down. So sign up for the Nina's newsletter. Go in there, put in your email. As she drops them, it comes to your email easily, and then you can share with others. Information is how we're going to get where we're going. If our mothers were able to do it during the About Women, with all the PM we're doing, we should be able to get the work done. And of course, on Tuesday is our Twitter day. Nina's is right. We stand with Nina's Transition Now. And we learn more by going to ninasvoice.org, the Daughters of Truth, as well as we insist on Transition Now. And once again, if you are listening to us on a daily basis, if we are sending you information and all you do is to watch it, to say, learn on there, how are they gonna do it? You are part of the witch and the wizards that are, eating our people. You are part of the colonial monsters that will never allow our people to move forward. We're saying our people are dying. You're busy buying land and building homes, thinking you're going to be a landlord. A landlord in the land of where? Let's put hands together and get this work done. Until next week, we shall return. Stay safe. Mucho love. Bye-bye.